Good morning, everybody. Scrabble with Grandpa. What's next? Tell you what's next. We got some bad weather. I'm back, finally. I'm back. All my vacations are over with. All my trips are over with. I don't think I have anything coming up anytime soon. Been super busy. You've been watching. I've got a lot of stuff going on. My legs are killing me though, guys. I'm going today at 2:30 for a cortisone shot. Hopefully that will help. So I figured I'd come out in the garage, clean up just a little bit. It's a mess, I'm not gonna lie. And do some micro scrapping. Just tear apart a few things that I have right here in my garage. And if that's something you wanna see going on, stick around. I guess one of the first things I'm gonna need is a few tools. Let's see here. Hammer. These are all tools that I need every day, all the time. I'm just going to take some things out of my, literally from that's in my shop, and just tear them down, because it's pretty much a shop day, and I have buckets and buckets everywhere. Look, I mean literally, I have stuff everywhere in these buckets that need to be micro scrapped out. So what a better day. Look at there. I don't think I could pick a better day to do it. I wonder if that old fan works. That is old school. Somebody might want that for an antique. Got a few things that I got to take magnets out of. I got to get my grinder out. I've got some ceiling fans that need to come apart. If that's some of the stuff you want to check out, stick around. I'm not going anywhere for a while. I'm right here until I get my doctor's appointment this afternoon. I'm going to the doctor for a cortisone shot. 2:30. I'm not sure if it's all that riding in the car I did or what. Really don't know, but I got a lot of stuff in here to do, so I think I'm going to name this video Micro Scrapping in my shop, in my scrap shop, and that's what I'm going to do. Pull apart a few things, get some stuff cleaned up, separated. Let's see what we got here. We got some wires. Looks like we got a nice little piece of copper bearing material. Let's see. Let me get some goodness out of here. These things here, if you want to buy these, I'll be listing them on my page. And they are so convenient, so much better than pulling out sockets every time you need a socket. I hate sockets, to be honest with you. I hate sockets. What a pain trying to find a socket. And these things, they come right in a pack. There you go. Take the plastic off. This would be a copper bearing material. If it has copper in it, generally they do. See what we got here, guys. Normally I just scratch it. That one is aluminum. Aluminum. Nothing on this that makes it look anything good, so I'll be throwing this into one of. I need to do some cleaning up out here and move some stuff around, but I need some of these packages that I got. Ooh yeah. Couple speakers. This is trash. This is just shred metal. The scrapyard doesn't necessarily want speakers, guys, so they don't like speakers that much. Anyways, I hope you guys have been having a great day, a great week, heck, a great month. I've been gone for so long. I went to Disney World, went to Maine, visited a few scrappers. So I've been busy. This stuff here, I would probably put this in my wiring harness box and just call it a wiring harness, because there's so much garbage on it. The scrap yard's going to pay you for harness. Now, whatever you do, don't throw that stuff in your shred, because that is definitely worth more money as a harness. These small copper wires, I don't strip them, but I save them as copper bearing material. Cut the plastic ends off, save that. You can sell that whole bucket just like that if you want to, as copper bearing material. I'm just wondering what's inside this thing. There's some aluminum on it. There is some aluminum on it, so let's see if that aluminum goodness is worth anything. Might as well take it apart and see what's in it. Went to a car stereo, apparently. I had so many things that I was going to do today, and every bit of it turned up to be what I'm not going to do today because of the weather. So hopefully we can get them things done tomorrow. But it looks like this thing here is going to have, the outside casing will be aluminum. Nice aluminum too. Might even be considered extrusion. And that was plastic. See if we can get this thing apart. Plastic, plastic. Open up. I know you want to. Get all your screws out. My wife just made me a good breakfast. That was awesomeness of her. That board slides out of there, doesn't it? Just slide out of there. There we go. Slid right out. That, to be honest with you, because of the metal that it has in it, it actually has gold in it. And all the other stuff, the bright shiny stuff, that is tin. But that's a nice piece right there of, that's a nice piece of aluminum that I could sell, I'm guessing, probably around 50 cents a pound. And although it's small, it adds up. You'd be surprised how fast that stuff right there will add up. Just got to be able to get it out of there. Got to get it clean. There's a screw in there that does not want to come out. And if I have to, if it takes too much time, I'll throw it in as dirty in a second. If I can get something on that screw, which I don't think I can. Yeah, it's going to take too much time. I'll throw that in as dirty aluminum. Oops, that thing just bounced right out of the bucket. Hit the bottom.
That looks a little better. Let's see what we got here. Not what I expected.
On this particular one, the little bearing right there, which I tried to get off here off camera, is in my way. So what I like, secondly, would be these Craftsman cutters. They got a little jaw in there that makes it a little bit easier to squeeze, because I hate squeezing these things sometimes. Once you do so many of them, they get a little bit hard on your hands. But ceiling fans are an awesome source of #2 copper. Of course, when you're working inside, you got to deal with the shade. I don't have lights everywhere, so it kind of shades stuff a little bit. But for me today, micro scrapping, baby. If you guys want to know how to tear one of these things apart, they're so easy. Few screws, you pop this motor out of there. Next thing you know, you got copper galore. There we go. I got that part. Turn it over on the vise. The vise is so easy, makes it so easy. I would not be able to do this easily without a vise, I can tell you that much. Get out of there. Throw it in your bucket. If that one side doesn't want to pop up on all of them, that's fine. You can pull them off with a pair of pliers later. See how that, just because of that curled side over there, they can be a real, sometimes a pain in the butt. Leave them. Come back with a pair of pliers. So my wife and I went to Disney World. Oh, we had such a good time. But I don't think it's anything that I'm gonna do anytime soon again. That's for sure. Number one, man, that place is ridiculously expensive. Ridiculously expensive, and you can spend $500 for 2 people to go into Disney World for 1 day, and that's silly. So because of that, can't say that it's my favorite thing to do anymore. I think I've done my Disney tour. Boy, do I have a lot of stuff that needs to be micro scrapped in my garage. Tearing stuff apart for the goodness, and there's goodness everywhere. Look at this stuff. Hell, I think #2 popper's going for somewhere around three something a pound. And then you still have this piece of shred metal that you can sell for shred. I think my shred right now is somewhere around 7 cents a pound, maybe 8 cents at the most. Shred's going down. I think everything's going down a little bit right now. Everything's going down just a little bit. What are your prices in your area? I would, that's one question I'm curious about. And this is a little bit big for this project. We're just making it work anyway. It's a nice micro scrapping day. You can probably hear the rain a little bit outside. It's not pouring right now, but I expect it to be later. I'm just gonna start grabbing stuff, tearing it down. Look at there, number 2 copper. Take the little plastic pieces off of it. Tell you what, copper adds up. Copper adds up, number 1, number 2. Doesn't matter, it will add up quickly. That's not a lot of copper, but it's probably well over a half a pound. Right there in that bucket. Throw this right into your shred. Some people can get, some people do actually get heavy steel for this, believe it or not. My yard doesn't pay me heavy steel, unfortunately. So it is what it is. Next item. And I keep telling my friend, Chris Lessage, keeps asking me, send me some of them magnets. I don't have any magnets. I've lost them all. I'm like, look, get you a microwave. Tear it apart. That's where I get all mine. That thing's just too far away from me, isn't it? So Chris, go get you a microwave. Tear it apart, buddy. Be amazed at all the goodness you can get out of a microwave. This is brass. Save that in your brass pile. There is not, people complain about these things all the time. Oh, don't tear apart a microwave. Well, it's safe, guys. It's safe. Microwaves do not have beryllium in them anymore. Not beryllium, but what they do have is nice magnets. Nice magnets. And copper. There's some nice copper in them too, believe it or not. For me, for that centerpiece right there, I just rip it out. Now I have 2 pieces. Number 2 copper. Put them right in your copper batch. And what else you got here? You have aluminum. These are aluminum. Nice aluminum too. Nice old sheet aluminum. And then your other magnet. This part here, I don't find any use for. Goes right into my shred metal. That doesn't belong in there. Right into my shred metal. Now you can take these. You can take these right here, put them in your vise. Like that. Get pliers. Grab a hold of that right there. Rip that loose. I like to have the aluminum off of this thing, but I don't want to send it in as dirty aluminum, so if I can cut that off easily. Why not? Why not? Look at there. Takes 2 seconds to turn that into a piece of clean. Send that other piece in as shred. Shred. A little bit of copper. What I'll do is fill a 5-gallon bucket with all this miscellaneous stuff that I'm throwing in here and call it good. Now this piece here is going to be considered dirty unless you do something with it. Now my yard, gives me number 1 for anything that doesn't have trash on it. I've noticed that a lot of yards don't do that for you. I don't know why. I think they're robbing you. I can take this piece right here and cut it off in a few places. Next thing you know, I got number 1 copper and some number 2 copper. This is number 1 for me. It's tarnished, but that's it. This number 1, it's tarnished. Doesn't mean it's bad, it's just got tarnish on it. This is going to be a piece of number 2 copper, but the other thing about that is, what did I do with them things? There they go. The other thing about that is, there's a piece of brass on there. So I'm going to cut that piece of brass off, turn that into my brass pile. Oh, good, great, Grandpa. And I'll send this in as, what do they call it? They'll call it irony, because it has that garbage on it, which is stuck to it like glue. This has a little rubber washer on it. Get rid of that number 1, that washer. What we got here, that is actually, there's a piece of brass on a piece of copper. So I don't get irony, but I will get brass for that, and I'll get straight brass because copper's worth more than brass. Another piece of dirty copper. What else we got in here? I'd love to tear apart this valve. I would. So what do you say we take apart a valve? Has anybody ever done these before? It's got a little piece of plastic on it. Rip off the plastic and take out the little rubber seal on the inside, and that is a piece of yellow brass. Let's see how you're going to get these things off here. Now, if I'm right, this will be cast aluminum, but it's painted, so it's going to be dirty. Dirty cast because it has paint on that thing. So that's dirty cast aluminum. Pop this thing off of here. That little brass nut right there is a brass, solid brass nut. Brass is 2 something a pound. That's a piece of shred. 2 something a pound for brass. I'll put this thing in my vise and screw a few other of these things apart if we can, and upgrade it. I could turn this in just like it is and they'll pay me for it. I don't know what. I don't know exactly what they'd pay me. But I do know if I clean it up, I'll get paid more. And that's what I care about. That's a nice piece of brass right there, but it has a rubber hose on it. And then it also has a ring, which I find a lot of times are copper. Yep. See, some people say that they'll be red brass. A lot of them I find are actually copper. See how far we can tear this thing down. Looks like that unscrews. See if I can get it in the vise. Good enough to unscrew it. sir. Let's see if she'll unscrew. Be nice if it would. Not so easy. Not so easy. So what else can I do with it? That end screws off too. Sometimes you end up not being able to take them apart, and if that's the case, oh well. Turn it in like it is. Get all the goodness off it that you can. Man, all right. Tighten up the vise, Grandpa. There you go. Put enough pressure on it. You gotta do something. This has a ball valve in there. It's held in by this, I believe. There you go. A little piece of rubber out of there, plastic. Them suckers can be in there too. Okay, we got a little valve on here. Let's see if we can get that valve off of there. You can hear the bad weather out there today. It is not good. And that's why I'm in my shop and not out picking up stuff. Come on, baby, I know you want to come off of there. There we go. Brass. There we go. This should be a piece of stainless, actually. That should be a piece of stainless. And yes, it is. Stainless. It's a heavy piece of stainless, too. Has a rubber grommet down there though. Get that out of there. Let's see if I can get that to unscrew. That's a whole separate piece. If I can get this piece off, we'll open that up too. Oh yeah. There we go. Brass is definitely worth taking apart because it's just about as good as copper. That thing has some metal inside though, and they will not take that as clean if it's got metal in it. But what's on this now? I can't tell if that's plastic in there or what that is. Could actually be just solid brass. That looks like a good solid piece of brass to me. I'm going to sell that as brass. Now you got this piece. What are you going to do with that? Well, you're going to cut that off. telling you something, a vise strapped down to your machine bench is going to be the best thing you ever got. Oops, that's a piece of aluminum. Old sheet aluminum. A little groove in it. That should pop right out of there. I do have a little bit bigger of a screwdriver here. That should pop right off of there, just like that. And then the springs should fly out of it. There we go. Look there. Nice piece of clean brass. Yep, solid clean brass. That will probably be in number one. There you go. It is copper. Look at that. That's number one copper, guys. Pop off your little piece of plastic. There you go. Nice piece of clean brass. Look at that. Another one. Another one here. Plastic, garbage. Sometimes you're not going to be able to tear all these things apart. That has some stuff all the way on the inside of it. That's going to mean that's going to be a dirty piece of brass. Let's see. Red brass too. That's dirty red brass. Although it does have a piece that would screw off of there, right there. Let's see if I can get that piece to unscrew. I can tell you, I'm not going to be able to stay out here much longer. My back is killing me. As we speak, my back is killing me. So, cortisone shot today. My wife said, stay in the house. I'm like, look, I gotta do something. Sometimes your body won't let you do something. I'd have to split that thing all the way down the middle in order to get that apart, which is not a terrible option, to be honest with you. Not terrible. Let's see what happens. What happens? You got a good blade, you never know. Of course, my battery's dying. My battery dying. Micro scrapping is definitely worth it. If you have the tools and the time and the know-how, you can turn some of this stuff into real money. This piece here has some plastic in it. Yellow brass, red brass. I can separate them two. Yellows and the red, because I get more money for red brass than I do yellow brass. My back's not going to let me do any more today though, guys, so I was hoping that I would just go ahead and take this bucket right here, micro scrap the whole thing out. This is a CBM, copper bearing material. It's not a motor. This is a CBM, copper bearing material. It's not a motor. Still worth money. I would take this piece right here and get that copper bearing material off of it, cut it a few times, get the plastic come out of it, and I'm going to sell it. I'll sell this just like it is for copper bearing material. But I'll sell that piece separately, separate them out. I got a lot of goodness in this bucket. And by the way, I want to tell something else about plugs. I'm not sure if your yard requires you to cut your plug ends off. Mine does. And remember, sometimes this is a plug end. So you got the male ends, and then the other ones you got the female ends. These are two male ends. You don't have to take them apart if you don't want to. You can actually sell them just like that. And the other part that gets plugged into is the same thing as these. So if it has like this, see? That right there, you can sell this piece right here just like it is. Just, so cut off both ends of your plugs and sell them just like they are, instead of trying to take that piece out there. I mean, if you want to take it out, you can. But for me, then I'm going to have to get rid of the plastic. So I'm not going to take it out. Sell it like it is. This is some like Romex house wiring. But this stuff here is so hard to get out. It's not like your standard. This is underground wire and not your regular wire. So it's hard to get out. So I would sell that just like it is. But this other stuff, I'm taking it all apart. Every bit of it. See there? That's an old flashlight. That flashlight is made of aluminum. Knock that piece out right there, and you have a nice piece of aluminum. It's probably going to go as old cheap because it's got paint on it. But these valves, that's a nice piece of yellow brass, clean. I have a lot of micro scrapping to do, guys. I have a lot of micro scrapping to do. So after I get all my pickups done, I have five honey holes to pick up. 4 caliber collisions. Oh, 6 honey holes. My gutter guy told me he's ready. And my burn barrel guy told me he's ready. So I've been gone a while, and everybody's ready for me to pick up their stuff. So Grandpa's got a lot to do. You know what to do. Smash that like button. Hit that bell, ring that bell so you're notified next time I put out a video, because you never know what it's going to be about. Could be anything. And if you like learning about scrap metal, you're at the right place. I'll see you on the next one. Scrap with Grandpa. What's next?